Imagine for a moment that you are walking through a casino. You see a man sitting at a slot machine. He looks exhausted. His eyes are red, his skin is pale, and he has clearly lost a significant amount of money. But he keeps pulling the lever, over and over again. Pull, lose, pull, lose, pull, lose. Finally, on the 100th pull, the machine lights up and gives him $20. It's a fraction of what he spent, but his brain lights up like a Christmas tree. He doesn't leave. He sits up straighter and starts pulling faster. You look at him and think, that's illogical. That's tragic. But here is the uncomfortable truth. You are that man. The slot machine is your phone. The lever is checking your text messages. And the payout isn't money. It is the crumb of attention from that one person who treats you terribly. You are trapped in the most powerful psychological prison ever discovered, and you don't even know you're locked up. Today, we're going to dissect the mechanism that keeps you addicted to toxic people, bad habits, and screen loops. It's not because you are weak. It's not because you are stupid. It is because your brain is being hacked by a phenomenon known as intermittent reinforcement. This is the dark science of why you can't walk away. To understand why you are stuck, we have to go back to the mid-20th century and look at the work of a psychologist named B.F. Skinner. Skinner was fascinated by how organisms learn, and he conducted a series of famous experiments using rats and pigeons placed inside what we now call Skinner boxes. In these boxes, there was a simple lever. If the rat pressed the lever, a pellet of food would drop out. Skinner created 3 different scenarios to test how the rats behaved. In the first scenario, every time the rat pressed the lever, it got food. Consistent reward. The rat learned quickly, ate until it was full, and then ignored the lever. It had zero anxiety. It knew the food would always be there. In the second scenario, the rat pressed the lever, but no food ever came. The rat tried a few times, realized the game was rigged, and stopped. It lost interest completely. This is called extinction. But then Skinner tried a third scenario. This was the game changer. In this version, when the rat pressed the lever, the reward was random. Sometimes the food dropped on the first press, sometimes on the 10th, sometimes on the 50th. The rat never knew when the reward was coming, only that it might come if it kept working. The result was terrifying. The rats in the third group went absolutely insane. They pressed the lever compulsively. They ignored other stimuli. They worked harder and longer than the rats who were guaranteed food. Even when the food stopped coming entirely, they kept pressing the lever for a devastatingly long time, hoping that the next press would be the one. This is intermittent reinforcement. It is the strongest way to maintain a behavior. And this is exactly what is happening in your toxic relationship or your situationship. Think about the person you can't seem to quit. If they were mean to you 100% of the time, you would leave. That's the second rat scenario. If they were nice to you 100% of the time, you would feel secure, calm, and happy. That's the first scenario. But they aren't consistent, are they? They're hot and cold. One day they're sending you paragraphs of affection, telling you you're the only one, making you feel like the center of the universe. The next day, radio silence, one-word answers, cold shoulders. You text them, and you wait, and you wait. Your anxiety spikes. Your brain starts scanning for danger. Did I say something wrong? Are they seeing someone else? Then, 3 days later, your phone buzzes. It's them. They send a funny meme or a thinking of you text. Instantly, your brain is flooded with dopamine. The relief is euphoric. The high you feel in that moment is significantly more intense than if they had just texted you normally every day. You aren't addicted to the person, you are addicted to the cycle. Let's get analytical about the neurochemistry here. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure molecule. That is a misconception. Dopamine is the molecule of seeking and anticipation. It drives you to pursue things. When a reward is unpredictable, your dopamine system goes into overdrive. There is a concept in neuroscience called reward prediction error. If you predict a reward and you get it, your dopamine levels stay baseline. But if the reward is unexpected, If you were unsure you'd get it and then you do, your dopamine spikes higher than normal. When that toxic partner finally gives you validation after a period of starvation, your brain registers that validation as being much more valuable than it actually is. You start associating the pain of the waiting period with the intensity of the love. You mistake anxiety for passion. You think, we have such a spark, we have such highs and lows, it must be true love. No, it is just a chemical trick. You were the rat in the box, and you were confusing the stress of the lever with the joy of the food. This dynamic creates a trauma bond. The person hurting you is also the only person who can comfort you. You are in a state of constant physiological arousal, fight or flight, waiting for that next hit of reassurance. This wears down your self-esteem and your logic. You start rationalizing their behavior just to keep the slot machine running. Oh, they're just busy, or they have an avoidant attachment style, or I just need to be more patient. So why is this knowledge dangerous? Because manipulators, narcissists, and billion-dollar tech companies use this against you intentionally. Social media feeds are infinite slot machines. Dating apps are designed to be intermittent, and some people intuitively know that if they pull back their affection, you will chase them harder. They are leveraging your biology against your well-being. Now that we have diagnosed the disease, how do we cure it? How do you break an addiction that is hardwired into your survival instincts? You have to understand a concept called the Extinction Burst. Remember the rats. When the random rewards stopped completely, they didn't just walk away immediately. They pressed the lever faster. They got aggressive. They threw a fit. When you try to go no contact with a toxic source of intermittent reinforcement, your brain will scream at you. You will feel withdrawal. You will feel an overwhelming urge to reach out, to check their social media, to just see how they are. This is your brain's extinction burst. It is panicking because the variable reward has stopped. If you give in, if you check their profile or answer that late-night text, you have just reset the clock. You have taught your brain that if it screams loud enough and waits long enough, it will get the treat. You have just reinforced the addiction. The only way to win is to stop playing the game. You have to starve the neural pathway. You have to endure the boredom. Real healthy love is not a roller coaster. Real love is the first rat scenario. Consistent, safe, and reliable. It might feel boring to a brain that has been fried by the highs and lows of toxicity, but that boredom is actually peace. You need to recalibrate your dopamine receptors. You have to accept that the intensity you felt wasn't connection, it was uncertainty. You have to look at that slot machine, realize the house always wins, and walk out of the casino. It will hurt, it will feel empty for a while, but eventually the craving will fade. The rat will stop pressing the lever, and you will be free to find something that actually nourishes you rather than something that just keeps you hungry. Don't let your biology be your destiny. Recognize the pattern, break the loop. If this analysis helped you understand why you've been stuck, hit that like button so this information can reach others who are trapped in the same cycle. And if you want to master your own psychology and become immune to these games, make sure you subscribe. Stop pulling the lever. I'll see you in the next one.